coach told you it was a big deal, and then they sell the tickets and it's a big deal. But like since then, what do you think about? It still kind of blows your mind as far as the court or the stadium or what that's all going to be like.
Yeah, I think initially, like, it just seemed like so far away and just like something so big that, I'm so sorry, that it was almost like, oh, like, is this really happening? Like, it was more like we were in like denial. And then now that it's like in the same month, it's sort of like, whoa, like we are actually playing in front of that many people. And I think it's just going to be like the day of, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just going to be indescribable. But I think just something that everyone always talks about is the weather. So I think just like the days leading up, like I'm going to be like checking the weather and stuff like that. But I think everyone's still excited.
Is it going to be the crowd or the weather? Do you think will have a bigger impact on the play on the court?
I would say the weather probably. Like the crowd initially, I feel like will be like whoa, like this is a lot of people. But I think like if the weather's bad, like that's not something that's gonna go away. So probably the weather.
Well, Coach Cook also talked about, which I hadn't thought about, is like humidity with the sport court, and like what kind of like conditions have you ever had to play on with the sport courts? Have there ever been a situation where like you've had to deal with an outside factor on this?
Never. Like we play beach obviously, and so we know like wind and stuff, but like yeah, like I was talking to someone the other day and I'm like, oh my god, like what if it's like really hot and we like dive and like you like I don't know, like it's just things you don't normally have to think about, but guess we'll deal with it when we get there.
My vote is don't use the black sport court.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hopefully it's the red one.
Before you came to this program, would you have seen yourself as a captain? Is that something you thought about?
I would say no. I was very, very quiet growing up, and I had been captains on like previous like club teams and high school teams, but I didn't know if like at this level, I didn't know how I was gonna perform or be at this level. And obviously, I've had a great 2 years, and I've really matured and grown up a lot to where I can be at this point. But yeah, growing up, I didn't know if I'd be able to be vocal enough to kind of be a leader. But
how much did your time with, because you were a captain for the U.S. volleyball team,
yeah,
how much did that influence your approach at Nebraska, and how different is that too, I guess, as well?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot for sure, because I kind of got that experience to kind of figure out my leadership styles and how I kind of want to go about the way I lead other people around me. But then at the same time, I was also leading a group of people that I had never played with, half the people I had never met. So it was a little bit difficult to kind of really like figure out how to lead a team. And then having last year's experience also really helped me. And I feel like now I've gotten a lot of experience, and I feel like Merritt and I together have just been communicating, and it's already going really well. So
what conversations have you had in the past month since you were named captain?
We've kind of had to have a lot just about like, I mean, normal stuff like scheduling times, and then there's stuff like just open gyms and lifts and just making sure we're all on the same page. We're all like committed, working hard, stuff like that, and just making sure that the team chemistry as a whole is on the same page.
With Merritt kind of being the mom of the group, what is your role?
I would say we kind of go hand in hand. We have very like similar presences on the court. We're both very like level-headed, very calm. And so I think just both of us being able to kind of control the vibes and make sure that everyone's staying like level-headed. And I mean, some people are going to be a lot higher and some people are going to be a lot lower. So just making sure that there's like a balance. But I think I'm also someone that a lot of people can like open up to and talk to. Like I think that I'm a really good listener and that I have really close relationships with like everyone on the team.
Mm-hmm. Someone that you're gonna be a little more hands-on leading is Lainey. What have you seen from her, and what does she add to your back row?
Oh, she's a competitor, man. She is feisty. She will not let a ball drop. And I mean, I kind of want to take the leadership that Kenzie kind of had for me and just like taking me under her wing. And I really want to be that person for her because, I mean, the game changes from high school to college. And I think just being there for her, kind of helping her get through her first Big Ten season is kind of like my main goal. I just want to make sure she's happy and having the best season she can. And I'm really excited to play back row with her because she makes everyone around her better.
How does she do that?
Just by she has no quit and she wants to win every point. She brings a lot of energy, and I think she's very reliable. So everyone knows that she's going to do that every day. She's going to bring it every day, and I think it's really good for our team.
What stories we've heard, she's very verbal on the court. Have you been on the receiving end of one of her verbal outbursts, or kind of she fired you up a bit? Or?
Oh yeah, she fires me up all the time, and even she's very she's gonna, if you're feeling down on yourself, she's gonna make sure that you're not anymore. So I mean, she sometimes helps more people than I don't think she'll need much help, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be there in case she does.
Do you feel like this team is a little further along than previous teams heading into fall camp since you had, half a month in Brazil together?
Yeah, I would say the Brazil trip definitely put us ahead of where we normally are. Usually just with when you're kind of doing open gyms all summer long and you're not really playing anyone, you're not competing very much, it can get kind of hard to stay focused and be determined to get better for the season. But I think since we had that Brazil trip and it was right around the corner, it doesn't really feel like much time has went by since we were in Brazil. So I think that really did help us just stay focused and on the track of where we're going to be in December.
Did you have a moment at all this spring where it's there's no Maddie, there's no Kenzie, there's no one, it's our turn, it's my turn to step up? I mean, did you have a moment like that, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, I think multiple moments probably. Yeah, it was kind of hard at first. I think throughout beach season, it was oh, it's beach, we're not indoor yet. And then once we got to indoor, it was oh wow, usually Kenzie's the one who says that. Now it's got to be me or someone else. We're the oldest ones, and I think we kind of, in the spring, I think we still kind of thought of ourselves as underclassmen. So just trying to get outside our comfort zone and be the leaders, because we kind of have to be now.
How do you deal? I mean, you look around the other Big Ten. I mean, Wisconsin's got a number of fifth-year players. I mean, every other team's got seniors or fifth-year players. Y'all team's very young. How do you kind of try to counter that lack of experience to what you guys bring?
Yeah, I think if we had a fifth year, great. But at the end of the day, we're a very young team, and I think there's a lot of pros to that actually. And I think when you're younger, there's not really any expectations, and you can kind of just play your best game every single night. No one knows what you have to bring to the table, and so I think it's going to be kind of one of our strengths, that there's no pressure that a fifth-year senior has to play how they've been playing for the past 4 years. I think we're a new team, we're young, and I think just how competitive everyone is, we're not going to have much of a problem with not having a fifth-year or older players.
You say there's no expectations, but Nebraska was still picked second in the league too. I mean, what do you make of that? Were you surprised to see that, or what was your reaction?
I don't know if I really get surprised. I mean, you know how those things go. They go up and down all the time. But, I mean, yeah, I think it's always kind of our goal to not really, worry about the rankings, what other people say about us, and just worry about how we can kind of get better and make sure that we're at our highest point at the end of the season.
A lot of really good Big Ten players that transferred in conference this year. Is it going to be weird seeing some familiar faces you played a lot against in new places?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would. I'm thinking of some of them, and it's oh yeah, that would be weird. But I mean, it is what it is. Still playing them. It's still going to be fun. Still going to be mad if they get a kill on me. But yeah, seeing them in a different jersey will be weird.